Hey everybody, welcome to the Wednesday, July 22nd, oh, sorry, July 21st version of StudentLoanJustice.org Livestream. My name is Alan Collins, I'm the founder of StudentLoanJustice.org. We are the oldest and largest and in many ways only true grassroots group actually fighting for student loan justice. For the first 16 years of our existence, we fought very moderately for the return of bankruptcy protections to student loans. However, today I can tell you that this lending system has failed. It has catastrophically failed. There is no saving it. There should be no saving it. So last March of 2020, we started a petition calling for the presidential cancellation of all federally owned student loans, in addition to the return of bankruptcy protections to all student loans, by executive order. Both of those things can be done by executive order. We still need Congress to repeal one line of federal code that makes student loans different from all other loans in bankruptcy court. But the petition now has over 1 million signatures, so that's very good. Loan cancellation by executive order is now at the top of the news. President Biden has been a huge disappointment up to this point, but a lot of people voted for President Biden in the expectation that he would cancel loans. So there's a lot of very disappointed people in the world right now. So folks, right now, what's going on? Today, we are pushing the president, as we do most days, to cancel student loans by executive order and return bankruptcy protections to the rest. But more to the point, we are focusing very hard today on bankruptcy. Now, nobody wants to file for bankruptcy. It's a terrible thing to have to do. But the Founding Fathers felt that bankruptcy was so important, they called for it ahead of the power to raise an army, ahead of the power to declare war in the Constitution. The unique absence of bankruptcy protections lies at the core of this problem. And if you really think about it for a minute, I know it might be a little subtle, but guys, I am here to tell you that getting our bankruptcy rights restored probably is a necessary precondition for actually getting student loan cancellation that is meaningful. The reason I say that is this. We already have a ton of student loan cancellation programs in place. There's public service loan forgiveness. There's income-based repayment. There's pay-as-you-earn. There's revised pay-as-you-earn. There are a million different loan cancellation programs out there. And in the absence of bankruptcy protections, 99% of everyone is getting disqualified out of those programs. So while the stuff we're hearing from Elizabeth Warren, up to $50,000 loan cancellation, or the stuff that Biden was saying before the election, that all sounds good, but as long as bankruptcy protections are gone, there's no reason to expect that we won't get anything much like what we've already gotten, where nobody gets the loan cancellation. These things are cruel jokes, and we are the punchline. So bankruptcy is very important. So today, we're asking everyone to retweet a tweet that we put up on Twitter. If you go to Twitter, find us. We are Student Loan JUS and then the number 1, Student Loan Just 1. You can see our main tweet is to Biden, as I mentioned before, but the tweet below that, I think, is a tweet. I hate saying tweet. I hate Twitter. You probably do too, but Twitter does work. You will see our tweet to the Republican senators and the U.S. Senate in general, laying out the argument for bankruptcy, which is very simple. The Founding Fathers called for it ahead of those powers that I said. The student loan exception to their wisdom, that's exactly what the founders wished to avoid when they called for bankruptcy protections in the Constitution. And then we kind of put them on the spot. So please, don't just retweet that. Quote tweet it. I just hate saying tweet. It's just emasculating. But anyways, Twitter does work, so please do this. Quote tweet that tweet to, if you have a Republican senator in your state or two, then quote tweet it to them. Put them on the spot. That's very, very, very important. And remember, guys, it's not just that everybody wants to run out and file for bankruptcy. Nobody does. Having the threat of bankruptcy back on our side is what is so important. Um, this lending system is catastrophically failed. The loans will have to be canceled. Like, pretty much all of them. Like, 80% of them for sure. But really, guys, in order for that to happen, we've got to have our basic fundamental power back. And that is our power of bankruptcy. So think about that. And, I just want to tell you one quick story. We got screwed on this in 2007. Maybe that's well before many of you even had student loans. Although I think our group probably averages somewhere around 45 or 50 years old. But in 2007, we heard similar friendly talk about student loan cancellation. In fact, the so-called good guys, like the student borrower advocacy groups, like the PERGs and like the National Consumer Law Center, and many, in fact, pretty much all of the names that we read about now in the paper today, same groups, many of the same people, they went to great lengths to kill the push for the return of bankruptcy protections to student loans. And they did it under the guise of, oh no, we don't need bankruptcy return because we're going to do this great loan cancellation program. We call it public service loan forgiveness or income-based repayment. These plans are going to be so great, nobody's going to need to file for bankruptcy. Well, how did that work out? 99% of everybody trying for those programs is going to get kicked out of those programs. So what I'm telling you is that the student borrower advocates, they screwed us. And quite frankly, I'm very suspicious that they would like to try and screw us again. And we're not going to let that happen. We're older and wiser now. We've been doing this for a long time, guys. We will not be screwed again. So stick with us. Fight for what we are fighting for, and your needs will be met. A lot of people go, why don't you just cancel interest? No, guys, no. That is rearranging deck chairs on a sinking ship. And not only that, it turns out to be actually impossible to write federal law that actually results in canceling interest. Now, I know that sounds weird, but it's true. Because for many, probably maybe even most loans, the repayment history is not well documented. Loans have been transferred, they've been bought, they've been sold, they've been consolidated, they've been rehabilitated, blah, 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 blah. And it's impossible to know how much of a loan is actual unpaid principal versus how much is interest versus fees and other stuff. So maybe canceling interest will work for you, what you think is interest on your loan. And that probably would happen with bankruptcy protections returned to the loans. But if you try and pass a law that says Department of Education, cancel interest, Department of Education will just sit there and they will do nothing, which is what they're very good at doing, what they love to do. They do not want to cancel any part of any loan. And if you give them a piece of legislation that there's any way they can not follow it, that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to not follow it. If it means they don't have to cancel loans, that is what they will do. If we've learned nothing else over the years, we have learned that the Department of Education has no desire, no intentions of canceling any loans if they can possibly get away with it. So, stick with our agenda, bankruptcy and loan cancellation. Your needs will be met. With bankruptcy in place, all of a sudden, the Department of Education will be like, oh, okay, so Mr. Smith, you want to negotiate your loan and you want us to cancel some interest. Okay, well, maybe we could do that. All of a sudden, that kind of becomes a possibility. But in the absence of bankruptcy, it just is not going to happen. So forget whatever you might be seeing, reading, or hearing on the internet. There's a lot of distractions out there, guys. Our opposition, they want no changes in the law. And so they're doing everything they can to seed the media right now with stories about, oh, yeah, no, under existing law, you can get your loans discharged in bankruptcy. It's just complete nonsense. They've been doing this for years, guys. We've seen them up close and personal. But yeah, there's a lot of distractions out there. A lot of distractions. Don't be fooled. We are no longer fooled, but it's very easy to be fooled. So I'm just saying right now, our opposition wants you sitting on your hands and doing nothing. They love that. So they see the media with stories about, hey, look at this guy. He got his loans discharged in bankruptcy. So it is possible. Therefore, you, the reader, you can just sit back and relax because everything's going to be fine. And so that's what they do. Don't buy it. Their biggest fear is you getting off your couch and joining us and helping us fight and doing this thing like we're doing today on Twitter, pushing your senators. Go even further than that. You know, Twitter is not a be-all, end-all. Call your Republican senator. Get into a conversation with that person or maybe their staff, more likely. Go further than that. We need you. We need you fighting here with us. So, you know, guys, I think I'm going to leave it there at that. I said this was going to be a short live stream, and, or maybe I didn't say it, but I intended this to be a short live stream. Looks like we're at around 10 minutes now, and so I think I'm just going to leave it there at that. And maybe two more things I will urgently request from you. Number one, you know, we discovered recently that over a third of U.S. states, the people in those states owe more than the entire state budget of that state in student loan debt. Like Georgia, their state budget is $48 billion. Georgians owe $82 billion in student loan debt. So we discovered that, and we wrote it up in a report. And if you go to our website, you will see in the articles, the media articles, highlighted in red, is our research post showing all the states that owe more than their entire state budget in student loan debt. We need to get that webpage, that post. We need to get that to the media in the states that are listed. So that's Georgia, Florida, Texas, Alabama, Tennessee, North and South Carolina, Indiana, Michigan, Illinois, New Hampshire, Colorado, and a few others. That's almost it. We need to get the media to report on that. You know, if we can get even a couple of Republican governors to stand up and say, Mr. President Biden, cancel these loans. I will not let my state be conquered and enslaved by this ridiculous federal debt. It would probably happen. It would cause a groundswell, the likes of which we've never seen before. It would solve this problem. You could be the person that pushes that domino. You could be the person that gets the media to report on that, maybe in your state or whatever state we're talking about. You could be the person that makes that media report happen where they ask the governor and the governor's like, wow. Because honestly, guys, I don't think many of the governors of those states even realize that their states owe more than their state budget in student loan debt. They don't think about federal student loans. They're governors. They think about the state budget a lot, and so do all the state legislators. So think about that. Think about how you can get through to the governor. Getting the media to report on it is the first and best and easiest way, in my opinion. But maybe you know the governor. It's some state, who knows? Maybe your dog walker is the governor's nephew, or who knows? Maybe you have some contacts with the governor. Be creative. Be clever. But the main thing is, these governors, and I don't mean only Republican states, although those are probably carry the most political weight right now, but all of those governors should be on our side. You know, they should spit their coffee out when they realize that their states owe more than the state budget in student loan debt. So that's the first thing. Second thing, and last thing I will say, if you can donate at this time, guys, that would be very, 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 very helpful. We still need to raise, I think, around $120, which is not a lot, but to us it's a lot. And this is for very current pressing expenses. We don't require a lot to survive and thrive and fight and win this battle. But we can't do it on nothing, guys. You know, we self-funded this organization for the first 5 years of our existence. We just can't do it anymore. Can't. So if you can donate, it would be very, very appreciated. I hope that you appreciate all that we have done and achieved. I hope that you really appreciate all that we are poised to get done and achieve on this problem. We literally, we are the tip of the storm. We are, um, we are the eye of the hurricane. We are the eye of the hurricane. We are the hurricane, or the eye of the tornado, maybe even stronger. But this group is where it's at. I know it may not seem like that, but indeed it is true. And I hope you can appreciate that fact. And I hope that you will throw in a couple bucks at this time so that we can, like, literally keep our lights on. Go to the website again, studentloanjustice.org. So with that, I'm going to wish everybody a good luck. Take this seriously. These are your loans. This is your problem. If you think you can hide and somebody else will pull your weight for you, then we're going to be sitting here 10 years from now wondering what the F happened. This starts with you. It always has. It always will. This is how democracy works. You can't run and hide. You got to pull your own weight. We are the pioneers, and you cannot unhear that, but it's true. So, and maybe I am optimistic, guys. I've never been more optimistic than I am right now here today. But I know that the sausage is being made in Washington, D.C. right now as we speak. We need you off the couch. We need you helping us. We need you being vocal. We need you making the argument. All the stuff that I said tonight, we need you doing. So take it seriously, guys. These are your loans, and this is your problem. This is your fight. This is your battle. And we're doing everything we can to give you the tools that you need to fight it. You could be a hero, and I mean big hero, because if you are the person that gets the first Republican governor, for example, to stand up and join us in calling for the president to cancel these loans, that's huge. I mean, that's it. That's history. That's making history. So think about that. With that, I will just wish you all good luck. As I said, Godspeed. I will be back on Friday. Ed will be back on Thursday. And God bless everybody.